Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to discuss around the topic of being a woman in business. When it comes to being a woman in business, I feel like the opportunity is there for us to grab, but unfortunately as a woman, we do have to wear different hats. For example, I was a single mum, so I had a kid and I always had to balance, motherhood with, trying to run a company. And often most men, I always tease my husband that ever since I've married him, his life hasn't changed. He's still kind of like a bachelor, going to work, comes home, or basically run his business and being able to come home. And so, in my kind of household, I still feel like we're quite traditional in that a woman still kind of help around the kitchen or help around the kids while the men kind of goes out to work. And for me, of course, I still love to work and I'm a career woman, so I'm having to kind of balance multiple things. So it makes the journey in business more difficult. But then on the playing field of business, I feel like a lot of men are quite accepting nowadays, where they don't the people that I've come across never look at me as if like, oh, you're a woman, what do you have to say? I think I'm being fortunate that I've come across a lot of great men in business who are very friendly and very accommodating, and maybe because I do carry myself very confidently, or I'm not intimidated, that I do feel like we're just on the same level playing field. But in short, I feel like because you're a woman, you just have more responsibilities to balance things, and it probably means that you hinder your opportunity to actually succeed in business. I believe that as a woman, in order to play in the game of business where it's quite dominated by men, actually I feel like men dominate a lot of industry, but it was helpful that I've already felt like I was quite tomboyish growing up. I'm quite strong in nature, and I look at everyone as the same. I don't feel like, oh, they've been in business longer, so I should kind of like, act like I don't know anything or feel intimidated. I kind of always looked at everyone as equal. And so I think that really helps me to kind of succeed it, or people take me serious. Or even when I was starting out, people still love me for me because they felt like I was genuine. I didn't need to come across like I'm strong. I didn't have to pretend to be more powerful than I was. What I did in order to succeed is actually being honest. So always friendly and kind, and then being honest, like, look, I've just started this service, and if you don't mind, I'll help you with this. So just by being authentic, it allows people to trust you and, basically, ask you to do the work for them. So my tip around, if you are someone that's quite soft and don't dare to speak out, I think those are some of the qualities that you can improve. And it's not just for the game of business. It could be when you're working in a career or in any kind of social aspect. If you can kind of really hold yourself as a person, you don't need to change yourself, but just be confident at who you are and being genuine and authentic. I think that will create a lot more strength in you, and people will take you more seriously. One of the interesting facts is that sometimes it could be more difficult when a woman works with a woman, actually, because I think sometimes men are quite simple, logical, and they just kind of don't overanalyze. But as a woman, and I am one too, I know that growing up I was quite analytical and always thinking like, okay, they said this, meaning it's that. And so sometimes it can get quite complicated when you're working with women, whether in business or in your corporate job. And so at the end of the day, it's just that there are different people. There are going to be people that will be fake, and I've come across those people who could be learning personal development, say all the right things on social media, and you're like, oh my gosh, she's my best friend because she basically believes in what I believe, have the same value, but only to find out that no, that's just her projecting something she wants to have, but she isn't that person. And that's just to realize that you will be burnt sometimes, and you just need to navigate and basically go, okay, well, I'm not going to allow that person to be in my life and affect my business. And I've had cases where a woman would kind of use me, or kind of, I was just the next stepping stone in her career or in her business. And so to find out later, you get really hurt, because you're like confiding in this person, feeling like, oh my God, I found another woman in business that believes in what I believe, and where we can do this together, only to be burnt. And of course, on the other side, I've met amazing women, and we just feel like we have so much in common. And I think that, unfortunately, woman to woman, there are just good and bad, and you just have to learn to, I'd never lose my trust. I always, no matter what happens to me, I would say, well, that's just what happened with me and that person. With the next person, I'm still open arm and still given the benefit of the doubt. And if they happen to burn me again, okay, move on to the next person. I don't generalize as it's hard to work with women. I'm never going to work with women, or men as well. I'm never going to work with men because men, try to take advantage of you. I think those are the limiting beliefs that you could actually sabotage yourself from meeting great people. So if you're a woman out there thinking about starting a business, or you're in a business and wondering whether you should take it to the next level, kind of just stop what you're doing, I believe that you just need to follow your heart and just be yourself. And no matter what, through business, it's gonna take you through a personal development journey. If anything, you will grow as a person. And yeah, I love being in business, and I know that you will too if you embrace the journey. So thank you so much for hearing my perspective on what it's like to be a woman in business. And if you have any comments or share any belief that I have, love to hear in the comments below. And otherwise, I'll see you again in the next video.